You know, all this talk about changing the world, it's making me skeptical. Because what exactly is that next big thing? Well, after all my intensive research, ladies and gentlemen, I've come to the brilliant conclusion that I don't know. I'm sorry, but what the future holds is the biggest unknown. Could it be 100% clean energy? Or AI dominating the world? What about a magical pill that'll somehow cure cancer? Impossible, right? But did you know that our first successful brain surgery was 7,000 years ago? Okay, we're all gonna do a little activity. All of us are gonna do it. Now close your eyes and imagine this. Imagine state-of-the-art flying cars at full swing, causing traffic in the skies. Imagine 2-inch pizzas that'll become a foot long when you put it in a glittering machine. Or imagine hoverboards that let you travel miles and miles on thin air. And now, open your eyes. This was from the 1989 film Back to the Future 2, depicting how they thought 2015 would look like. And now I know some of you will think, well, it's just a sci-fi movie. But think of it this way. In 2016, Nike released Air Mags with automatic lacing. Furthermore, in 2011, Industry 4.0 was initiated, a new era creating a plethora of mind-boggling inventions. And now this movie may just be another fantasy to some of you, but inevitably, it has cultivated a spirit of innovation in our hearts. An interpreter once said that each and every single one of you, yes you, has had at least a $1 million idea in your lifetime. Our minds are not just defined by anatomy, it is something, someone that can change the world with one idea. Yet despite this grandiose introduction, we seem to forget the other side of the coin. We can change the world for the better or for the worst. Recently, I saw news that a toddler was cyberbullied by grown adults because of where she came from. Veteran Lee Wong asked, "Is this paid shot enough?" lifting his shirt to show his disfigured body as a result of military service, only for the people to dishonor him because of where he came from. I have a dream today, shouted Martin Luther King Jr., fighting to dismantle prejudice. Yet let me ask you, why are we still waiting for that dream to be fulfilled? And online, way too many of my friends, including I, have faced hate because of where we came from. And sadly, systematic discrimination is becoming rampant. MSG, monosodium glutamate. We've all been taught that MSG was a monster of a food additive. Yet recent studies such as those of Sarah Tracy, a researcher and an author of many books, who also gave a TED speech, have revealed secrets about this long sophistry. And that is systematic discrimination under the pretty name of science. What you may not know is that MSG is actually the salt of a common amino acid called glutamic acid. And this is naturally found in our bodies and other foods. Let's say, for example, a bowl of wonton soup. It was deemed dangerous because it had traces of MSG. On the same table, you might see baby food or chips. And they're, of course, harmless, right? We eat them every day. But guess what? Even they contain MSG. This just solidifies the proof that MSG was not the culprit, but it was prejudice and what it's done in the field of scientific research, even affecting many of us, even the most respected. Well, what about recognition? Why should we recognize scientists and original ideas? One tragic story begins in the backyard of a scientist you probably don't know. Dr. Abelardo Aguilar. He was the man who paved the way for erythromycin being mass-produced, saving lives to the millions, used by all hospitals till date. Now, let me tell you something about this drug. It can cope with pneumonia, rosacea, bronchitis, dental abscesses, STDs, ear infections, almost every bacterial infection in the dictionary. Such a phenomenal breakthrough, right? But no one knew he was behind it all. And now you might be thinking in your head, why in the world, in this theme, are you talking about such a topic? Because when I say the word discrimination, many of us think of it happening in the streets or in the playground. Yet why has it become so apparent in our schools and so-called dignified institutions? Equal opportunities? Two simple words, they say. Yet we still can't implement that in our conduct. Why is it so? The size of our hands, the color of our hands, or what accessories that hand may wear means nothing. We've far past reached a point of humanity to know that difference in background mustn't be the determinant of who can change the world or not. To change the world, I've devised the 3 F's: finance, focused, and for everybody. F means finance. We need to willingly fund marginalized scientists who have the idea on how to change the world, but don't have money to support them. F means focused. We need to forget past preconceived prejudice and focus on the fact that in the past, all the inventions that we're all so proud of were made by people all around the world, and not just a select few. And lastly, F means for everybody. We need to recognize and bring to the limelight all those scientists who created life-changing inventions and tell them that, hey, you can make it like me too. Those of you of similar background, tell them you can make it like you too. Now let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. A shape made up of lines leading to the center. These green blobs represent our big things, our million-dollar ideas, our individualized inventions. These lines represent the development and use of these ideas. And in the center marks an ambiguous section, the next big thing that'll rock this world, the next multi-million-dollar idea that'll change us all. Let's take an example. Dr. Abelardo Aguilar. He was the man who created erythromycin. It was his idea. Now that it's been researched, traveling down that line, it has saved lives and enhanced medicine as we know it. And now this diagram may look simple, but take a closer look. Notice how these lines get evidently closer to the center? Now this is no coincidence. And let me ask you, why should we bring to the limelight and applaud scientists for their originality? Why should we recognize and tell others to join the conversation of changing the world? Why should we not base intelligence on background? Because this is how we change the world. When we let each other in the conversation of changing the world, we and them move forward. But when we don't, when we label each other as too different, when we push them away in changing the world, we set them and ourselves back. Today, it is the 3rd of February, 2022. People in the past thought that today would be the future they were all dreaming of. Yet look at us now. Pollution has become ubiquitous. A global pandemic has wreaked havoc on a so-called modern world. Heated debate about the basic rights of humans. We have disappointed our past. Our present, seeming to make pompous advancements, have actually taken steps backward. And our future is not at all promising. Maybe tomorrow is not the future that we're all dreaming of. Maybe yesterday was our lesson. Because what the next big thing is may not be as important compared to how we get there. Let us work hand in hand together to create our present and our future to what it should be by now. And remember this, the key to the future is in each other's hands. We just need to open the door together. Thank you.